We are going to start our design with a few different shapes. You may choose whatever shapes you want to get started. Here I chose a triangle and a rectangle. Once you have the shapes, you want to make lines to kind of break up the outside. You can see here I use curved lines, straight lines, different diagonal lines. And then when you're done, you want to create lines around your shapes. And then you can also create lines around the different sections that you broke up on the edges as well. You then want to break up the other areas and create different areas within the space. Once you've broke up the sections, the next step is to write your name anywhere on the artwork that you would like. You also might want to make the lines a little bolder. If you're using a Sharpie marker, or if you have another marker you can use. And if you don't have a marker, don't worry. You can try using a colored pencil. I decided to use all my names. My first, my middle, my maiden name, and my married name. That's a lot of names for one artwork. Remember, you want to outline your name again to make it a little bit bolder. So once you write it, go ahead and double up those lines a little bit so it could be nice and bold and really stand out. The next step is you want to look around to see where you can create more lines, how you can divide different areas, and then what other lines can you add? You can see here I'm adding some scallop lines, I'm doing some repeating lines, some thick and thin lines. You want to go back to each of your areas and see what else can you add. Here I'm adding some shapes. Next, I'm adding some zigzag lines. You want to make the lines in your artwork be as interesting as possible. How could you create dynamic lines within your art? be sure to fill in all of the negative spaces with lines. You want to go in and do different shapes, different lines, thick lines, thin lines, zigzag lines, scallop lines, any castle lines, swirls, anything you can think of. You want to go into all the different spaces and really give attention and detail to each and every area. Remember, you're breaking up each and every area into other smaller areas. So where you see some negative space, what can you do? Here I added some curved lines, and then I just radiated them one on top of the other. Just keep on repeating different shapes, different lines, breaking up the space with lines until you have a full page of lines and shapes. You can also include some lines that make pattern, as seen there. Really decorate the entire artwork as best you can. Once you're done creating all of your different lines and patterns and designs, you want to put this in a safe spot until next week. Next week, we'll talk about how you can add color to your artwork.